This story is called My Parents Have Been Acting Strange Lately, posted by ClawStrike09. A few months ago, my father went missing. Whenever I asked my mum about it, she tells me he ended his life. After some previous events, I have been led to believe otherwise. Every night at exactly 11 p.m, my mum enters my room to make sure I am asleep. This has been going on for years. I can usually hear her breathing, but the past few weeks she has not been breathing at all. She stands in my room watching me for half an hour, then she leaves the house to go somewhere. She always leaves the front door open, and I can hear something that is not human enter the house. One night, I decided to see where she was going. I looked out of the window and saw a creature that looked like my father in the forest. It was not my father. This creature had no eyes or nose, but a huge grin. I saw my mother follow the creature into the woods. Just as I was about to call someone for help, the creature saw me. I panicked and closed the curtain and tried to sleep. Before I knew it, my mother had entered my room. She stood above me. I couldn't hear her, but I could tell she was there. After what seemed like forever, she grabbed my arm and forcefully dragged me out of my room. Her claws were digging into my skin. She started making her way to the front door. The creature was now standing near the doorway. I don't remember what happened after that, but I woke up in my bed the next morning. I could not find my mum anywhere. It was like she vanished. I called the cops and told them my story. They didn't believe me, but when they checked the security footage, there was no denying what happened. A search team was sent out and they found my mother. She was dead. Her limbs had been pulled apart. She didn't have any clothes on, and a smile had been permanently carved into her face. As I am writing this, I am also fearing for my life. My father is coming for me. It is only a matter of time. I am currently living with my aunt. Every night, I have been hearing whispers from my window that appear to be my dad, telling me to let him in. The voices start whenever the sun goes down. They get more aggressive as the night goes on. I am scared. What will I do? Help me. I don't want to die. This story is called The Old Woman in My House, posted by Loop555. Quick backstory. Me and my family moved into our old house. We live in a different house now. When I was around 3 to 4 years old. My mum told me before that when we first moved, I always used to talk about an old woman. I used to tell my mum that she would come out of the wardrobe and sit on my rocking chair and watch me play with my toys. I also used to tell my mum that the old woman told me not to mess around with the chickens and pigs, which was strange because we didn't have any chickens, neither did we live near a farm. I myself don't remember it properly because I was 3 to 4 years old when I said all this. However, there is one encounter that I remember with the old woman I was telling my mum about. I'm guessing it was the same old woman. This happened when I was 9 years old. I had come back from one of my regular hospital appointments, so it was just me and my mum at home. My dad was at work and my sisters were still at school. I decided to play on Roblox on my mum's laptop and she let me take it up to my room as long as I was careful with it. The laptop needed to be charged, so I bent down to plug the charger in, and as I got back up, I saw this old woman through the laptop screen. It was creepy. The woman was staring at me and didn't blink. She looked kinda miserable. Anyway, it took me a minute, but I turned around and no one was there. And when I looked back at the laptop screen, she was gone. I was obviously spooked by that and scared, so I went downstairs and told my mum. But my mum thought I was just imagining things. I decided to stay downstairs and watch the TV until my sisters came back. I 100% was not imagining it. I can see everything and the woman, and I can remember her face and the way she was standing. It was 100% real, and I was 100% awake. After that moment, I never saw her again, and as I mentioned at the start of this post, we moved house. Not right after I was 12 when we moved out, and I still wonder if the old woman is still in the house. As I said, I never saw her again. The only thing that was kind of weird after that moment was we would hear knocking around the house on the walls in places that didn't make sense. Apart from that, I've not seen the woman since that incident. Nothing really creepy has ever happened since. I never took much interest in paranormal things, mainly because at the time I was still young. I was like 9. In more recent years, it has started to interest me, and I sometimes wonder if the people who bought the house from us have seen or heard anything weird or out of place.